Welcome back to the No Shave Man Cave. We are going to be talking about Dynamite, what our reactions and recap was, and might have a hot take at the end about Mercedes Moné. Stay tuned, check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, wrestling fans and sports entertainment fans, welcome to the No Shave Man Cave. I'm Ellie Jarrett.
And I am Jay Tilly. Hey, yo. Man,
wow.
Welcome back.
Wow.
Welcome back. I didn't like being on my own. For
Alabama has got us twisted, man. It is great to be back. We got El Edador behind the scenes, Jay Tilly, Ellie Jarrett, right where we should be. Dude, what do you think, man? This is nuts.
This was a weird Dynamite, I'll say. Almost felt like something got cut out of it. I'm not sure. We'll get into that as we go. We'll try to keep this short and sweet and to the point. Kind of highlight what we thought of the show and what's going on. So we open it up with Ospreay versus Brian Cage. I'll probably have another hot take on this too, but decent match. Worth checking out. There was a spot in this match that I swear Brian Cage and Will Ospreay are inhuman, because you've got Will Ospreay jumping off the barricade onto Brian Cage, but yet Brian Cage catches him like it's a suplex, then decides to walk around the ring with him like a flagpole. What the hell, man? Amazing. Like the strength of both of them and the timing and just the way that looked was great. Match itself was pretty hard hitting. You know, what you would expect from these two in a Dynamite match. I actually like this match better than the match 2 weeks ago with Brian Cage and Kenny Omega. And it hurts me to say that, but I thought this match actually was a better match. So it was good stuff. Which you get Ospreay with the win at the end. Before we get into the after match, what did you think of that match?
Yeah, I thought it was a fun match. It got some business done between the family and Will Ospreay, and allowed the continued interaction with Will Ospreay and the new, sort of faction with Omega, and the Alabama Huntsville crowd really popped for it, and bringing that chair in, baby. Let's go. I think there's some money to be made, and obviously when you're talking about the Callis family, you've got some checks to write. So all in all, I thought it was good piece of business.
Yeah, pretty interesting during the post match beatdowns. They end up beating up Ospreay after the match, and then Kenny makes a save. They fend off Lance Archer and Brian Cage, and then you've got Kyle Fletcher and Takeshi come out, so they're outnumbered.
Yeah.
But I thought what the interesting part at the end of the beatdown was they hit Kenny with the chair into the gut, which is the however you say that fancy medical word, his tummy problems. With that happening, he doubles over and he's in pain. Yeah, it's in your tum-tum. He ends up hurt and he's on the ground, and I love how Will Ospreay went and like climbed on top of him to cover him up as they were beating him down some more, and I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
it does throw up some questions coming forward, like where is, or I should say, who is going to be the two other people to join Ospreay and Omega down the line, because you've got 4 in the Don Callis family versus those two. It's not going to end at Grand Slam, so it'll probably be continued on. So I'm curious where that's going to go.
Yeah. Are you doing something with, you're going to bring the elite in? Are you doing something where you're going to bring, wrestlers that are familiar with that faction from New Japan, just sort of reinvigorate the New Japan AEW family? But yeah, you bring up a lot of solid points, and I am going to be watching Wednesdays and Saturdays just to see what I can pick up. Not to mention on Max, if you're going on Max, you're picking up some exclusive stuff and, the Elite on the social media. So definitely, keep your eyes and ears open for what's going on with that. So
Two
pretty
things
cool.
that come to my mind on the Will Ospreay and Omega thing is this where we get Kota Ibushi coming back? So we got the Golden Lovers, and then you have Okada join them. So you've got your kind of 4 New Japan originals versus this Don Callis family. That'd be kind of cool. I don't think that's going to happen, but it'd be fun.
Yeah,
Next thing we
I
got.
would love to
Go
see.
ahead. Sorry.
I'd love to see Okada. I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to keep dragging this out, but I'd love to see Okada because I'm not sure how united Okada and the Elite are. So
Right.
that might be a little bit of a sprinkle. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Could definitely be a little bit of a way to go. And then when the Young Bucks come back, now Okada's sitting there, and they can kind of run the storyline that I think they're going to run with Adam Cole when he first came in, when Omega was out, and it was like, well, whose side are you on? And so they could kind of run back some of that weird Elite dynamics going on. Or Hangman, maybe Hangman jumps in. Although, what happens next is we get Hangman coming out of an office.
Yeah.
Renee Paquette says, "What are you doing here?" And he kind of ignores her and brushes past her, and he bumps into MJF. So they got a little stare down moment. And then MJF cuts a promo on Jeff Jarrett talking about, I told you, we're going to make this easier hard. You decided to make it hard. Claudio is going to beat you tonight, so I don't have to worry about that. And then he hints at setting up a last ride tour, I guess, for Jeff Jarrett. Basically, we know MJF like making people run gauntlets, so I'm guessing that's what this will be.
Yeah.
My guess is it'll end up with a Jeff Jarrett MJF match. Maybe Jeff Jarrett like retirement match, and he puts MJF over and leaves. I'm not sure. I'm more intrigued by the Hangman MJF stuff than I am the Jeff Jarrett stuff right now.
Yeah, I'm a huge MJF fan, but it's like how all of a sudden this became like to the level that it is, where you could intertwine it into other storylines. You didn't have to all of a sudden make it like a premier event.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree. I think, if it was one of those, behind the scenes, every now and then you're, Renee Paquette, hey, I'm MJF's walking around. I'm trying to get a match and no one will have a match with me and I'm the last outlaw. All right. Thanks, Jeff Jarrett. Have a great night.
Yeah.
And then you cut to, go to the ring. But I totally agree. I think, there's a lot of money to be made with Jeff Jarrett, just with the historical value in it. But this is such a stacked roster for you to like bog 20 minutes or 30 minutes of a 2-hour show down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it continues on with the Jeff Jarrett Claudio match.
Yeah.
Which is a match that comes next that I didn't think really needed to happen. I haven't made it a secret, my feelings on the Death Riders and this whole feud thing going. And now you've got Jeff Jarrett involved in it. I mean, you don't need Claudio. So Claudio wins, but it's after Yuta tries to interfere. They get a chair. Yeah. The chair doesn't work. Jon Moxley comes out, delivers the Death Rider to beat Jeff Jarrett. I'm sorry. Like, they're in my opinion, there's a couple ways to do a retirement run, right? You got Sting. Amazing, fantastic story, great retirement run. I don't feel like Jeff Jarrett's is there yet. And I don't feel like if this is what's going to be, even Bryan Danielson, right? Same thing. He did a retirement run. He was going to stop wrestling full time. And it was a great storyline and pull. I don't feel like Jeff Jarrett's there. Now, it could be the input. Like maybe this is what Jarrett wants, right? Maybe he wants to work MJF, which is fine. They'll probably have great match and it'll be good. Maybe he's going through his bucket list of people and it's just a different story.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that I have no emotion or connection to the Death Riders right now.
Yeah, it feels like, and no knock against the Chiefs and the Eagles, but we've seen it before, right? So like, okay, great. Nothing against either one of those teams, but like we've seen that before, but it's a Super Bowl, so we're going to watch it, whatever. But if it was like, a couple of other wrestlers that we've seen interact in the back, or maybe they had a tag team event or, whatever. Now all of a sudden they're thrust mid-card main event, whatever. But huge MJF fan. Again, he's done a lot of great things for the wrestling industry. The entire Jarrett family over the last 40 years, 50 years have done some great stuff. But I think it's time for the young guns of AEW to step up and be the face of the organization. And we'll see what plays out. And we may both be sitting here going, dude,
yeah, we were wrong. That was awesome.
Yeah, they got us,
I don't know. So, I mean, you hit on something that kind of touched me a little bit, is like the young guys. They look at your main event picture right now. It's Jon Moxley. You've got Cope. It's Jeff Jarrett. Like, where are the people that we wanted AEW to be built around right now? Yes, I understand Omega's been out. Cool. Now he's back. He's getting built. Will Ospreay's another one. Where's Okada? Okada should be in a main storyline. Moné, we'll talk about her in a little bit. Thunder Rosa, friend of the channel, was a huge influence on AEW coming up. She's gone. We don't see her much anymore. Every once in a while on Collision. Like, I feel like they've lost their way a little bit, and this Death Rider thing is kind of an example of that. Like, the story's not hitting. It doesn't feel fluid. I don't think there's a lot of emotion behind it. I love the Death Riders. I love everybody in it. I just am not feeling it right now. I don't know that they've built up a good enough opponent. Like, where's Orange Cassidy? Where's he gone? Where's Will Hobbs? He had one match against him. Like, those are the people you should be building up on the back of this.
Yeah, 100%. You talk about we talked about this when we were at the was it World's End? Not World's End, but World's End, when we were in Orlando. And we're sitting there going,
Shout
wait
out
a minute.
To a friend of the show for hooking us up with tickets to that, by the way.
Boop, boop. Great to see TR's dad rocking the vest. I think that was hot. Let me know wherever that's available. I'll drop the 904 zip code on mine. But you've got, I get really frustrated because you have all these young guns chomping up the bit, to make the magic happen. And they're, when they're not getting their 20 minutes of TV once or twice a week or whatever, they're on the indies and stuff. And then you mention Cope, and you mention, Jericho gets fat,
Jericho,
fat ring time. There's so much money to be made with a lot of these young guns, and we got to make sure that we're doing the right thing by all of these professional wrestlers. And I think eventually Tony will make a decision and be able to delineate based on whatever deal he has with whatever wrestling promotion and streaming / TV company. Eventually everybody will get their stick time and everybody will be able to flourish. And not everybody's going to be able to win a title. Not everybody is going to be able to main event, which I think everybody understands that in professional wrestling. But with who they have on the roster, and, we talked about Hobbs, we talked about Switchblade, we talked about MJF, we talked about, Moxley. And I mean, these are all guys who have main evented, who have all won titles, who have all been, here, there, and everywhere. Right. And the future is very, very bright. So to be upset, frustrated, disappointed, whatever, totally understandable. But it's a cyclic event, and unfortunately, we have to be patient, which sucks because as wrestling fans, and today's world, we want it now. We hit the microwave button and we have our popcorn. We hit the microwave button and we have our dinner. We hit the microwave button and, we just got to hurry up and wait for professional wrestling, which I think is a good problem to have. So,
and I'm not dogging everything AEW does, right? Because the next thing we get is AR Fox versus Ricochet, which is a
great match
storyline that I'm excited about, which is the Ricochet Swerve stuff. So the AR Ricochet match, very good match. Ricochet wins throughout the match. It's what you're going to get from an AR Fox and Ricochet match. High flying, a lot of good stuff in it. But the heel work of Ricochet is on point, man. He does this in the mid part of the match, like this tease, like he's going to do this huge jump out of the ring and stops and flips off the fans, like good stuff. And then the end, like grabbing the rope and then grabbing the, the referee's vest or the referee's shirt so he couldn't get put down by AR Fox at the end was great. And then at the end of the match, he goes to attack AR Fox with the scissors. Swerve shows up, pulls him out of the ring, and they brawl around the ring for a little bit. Swerve was told he could not interfere in the match, which is why he wasn't out there. Tony Khan, do more of that. Stop getting away from the principles that started AEW with the no interference. But anyway,
100%.
So that was good stuff. And then as he's getting ready to hit the Swerve stomp, Ricochet, in probably one of the most, oh my God, you're going to go to jail if this happens moments I've seen, grabs the scissors and puts them right up on AR Fox's throat. Like, go ahead and jump on me. I'm going to stab him in the throat. Yeah. And then totally uses AR Fox like a human shield and leaves the match.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. Great heel work. And I am sure this match on next week's Dynamite isn't going to be their end of their feud. It's probably going to get a no contest or DQ because Swerve's going to want to do some crazy burn my house down match or something down the road because those two in a no holds barred match will be great.
Rock, paper, scissors match.
Yeah, there you go. Rock, paper. You'll bring in the cinder block, and then they'll have a pair of scissors, or maybe scissors on a pole. Who knows? And we go from that to the next match, which is Jay White and Wheeler Yuta. Another match, kind of what you expected. I will say Wheeler Yuta is one of those guys who absolutely 100% improved after he went to New Japan for that stint because he hung with Jay White, who in my opinion is a little underrated. He's a very good wrestler, and he hung with him this match. And he hung with him this match, and he did a really good job, very good back and forth. But then we got more Death Rider stuff, which we knew was coming.
Yeah.
And it just highlighted all the crap that I was mad about last week, which is Jeff Jarrett didn't come out to help Jay White when he's getting jumped. Yeah. Why didn't anybody come out to help Jeff Jarrett when he was getting it? Like, there's gaps in that hole. What we did get at the end of the match after the beatdown was so the Death Riders come out after Jay White wins. Jay White hits the Switchblade, picks him up, hits another Switchblade, picks him up to do another one. Death Riders come out. Fine, cool, whatever. They're beating down Jay White, and then FTR and Copeland come to make the save. So what did you think about this? I mean, is it just a continuation of the same thing we're saying on the Death Riders?
Yeah, I mean, you get to a point where you're like, okay, it's, from another wrestling company where there was a authoritative group that no matter what match occurred, something was going to occur. Years ago, there was another organization that would, play out, and whether it was white or red, they'd come out and like aces and eights with TNA. You couldn't get a hot minute of good professional wrestling. So it I don't feel like it's quite saturated the show, but it's coming. It's coming pretty close. And Jay White, he was he's held every title in New Japan and all around the world. Very decorated wrestler with Ring of Honor, the IWGP World Champion.
Yep.
And to see him sort of toiling is maybe it's me being sort of in my myopic world, but eventually we've got to unmuddy the waters, get the good versus bad.
Yes.
White hat white hat, black hat, good
Yep.
guy, bad guy, good faction, bad faction, and we just, make the magic happen.
And I think they're going to do that, right? I see the writing on the wall, or I'm hoping I see the writing on the wall, and it's going to be the Elite versus Death Riders down the road.
Yeah.
It's just all this stuff in between is killing me. It's just not doing a lot for me. I'm going to run through the next 3 sections and we can talk about them, or next 2 sections real quick and we can talk about them, and then we'll get into the main event. We had a Mariah May promo, basically saying she's going to beat Toni Storm. She doesn't care which version of Toni Storm it was or who she's playing, because Mariah May has always played herself, and that person's a winner and the champion, basically. We did not talk about Collision, which, again, if that's something you want us to start doing, reviewing Collision, drop a like and let us know in the comments below, because we will absolutely start adding that to our repertoire of shows. But if you didn't watch Collision, go check out the Mariah May Toni Storm segment, probably segment of the year so far. Fantastic stuff.
The year.
Amazing. I mean, I know it's only January 20-something, but it was great. It was great.
Shove 100%. You back up in it.
Yeah, way to go promo. But so she basically talked about that. And then after that, we get a video package for the Guns returning. It could go either way. I like the Guns personally. I think they've got a lot of potential. They're a little annoying, but they got a lot of potential. Anything you want to say about those 2 things?
No, I agree. I mean, they're I think they're annoying by design.
Right.
And, they'll be able to get in where they fit in. And I think it's exciting for the future of AEW. So we gotta harness that instead of keep building up the muddied factions and stuff like that. So I like it.
Well, yeah, and one of the things that, looking at it now, okay, so the Guns have got their return. I think Juice Robinson's still injured, but if he's not, well, now you've got Jay White, the Guns, and Juice Robinson versus the Death Riders. But I think he's still out and injured. But the Guns coming back's good, because now you can put them with Jay White, and now you at least got 3-on-3. And then you throw Jeff Jarrett in, now you got 4. Now you can start building a storyline for the Death Riders, I think. Because I think that's the biggest issue, is there's not enough going against them. But
there's not enough resistance. That's a great call. Good call out.
Yep. So then we get Yuka Sakazaki versus Mercedes Moné for the title, DBS Championship as your main event. No, that's not right. A women's main event? Yes, that's right. A women's main event. They gave him a whole 8 minutes or whatever it was. It wasn't a long match. Yeah, we had overrun. Yeah, about 5 minutes or something, but very. I love that they main evented it. Yeah. I want to see more women on my wrestling. You could have cut out, and I didn't even talk about it. We had a Jericho segment in there. We also had another Death Rider segment in there. You could have cut out either of those segments. We also had like a 10-minute video recap of the show in there. You could have cut all 3 of those segments out. That wouldn't have affected the show or the flow of the show or anything, and thrown a women's match in there and put Jamie Hayter versus Camille or whoever you wanted. Right. I mean, we didn't get another video package of Megan Bayne this time. So, there was a lot of stuff that, anyway, I'm going to go on a tangent. Maybe we'll do a special episode talking about that later down, because I think that needs to go. Anyway, great match. Sakazaki, if you've never seen her or you only seen parts of her, go check out her stuff in Stardom. They call her the Magical Girl. There's a reason. She's so much fun to watch. So entertaining.
Absolutely.
She's like a very smaller version of Willow, where she's always happy and smiley and running around. So good stuff.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah. She's like a little shrunk down Willow Nightingale. A lot of fun. Great match. They went back and forth. I think this match would have been better if it had more time. But it is what it is. It was a decent match. Good main event. No funky finishes. It was a straight up win by Moné at the end. Yeah. Some really good moves back in there. I thought it was good. I do have some things to say about Moné afterwards, but I want to get your opinion on the match first, and then I'll come back to what I've got to say.
I thought it was a great match. I'd never seen her before. So, to see Yuka against Moné, I think Moné carrying 4 titles may or may not be excessive, but she's, money, not Moné. but she's legit money. International wrestling organizations are booking her, and there is a long-term storyline with her, and you could go a million different ways. So absolutely a fun match. And, I thought Yuka some of her moves inside and outside the ring, her gear was really cool too. So all in all, I thought it was a above average match. Great main event.
Yeah. You a couple things. You said something about Moné long-term storytelling.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at, right? Like, what has she been used the way they're paying her to be used? I don't see it. I know she's doing a lot of media stuff, and I know she's wrestling internationally, and I know you have an issue with the 4 belts, which I can see that. But I also look at Kenny Omega when he was doing the belt collector with 4 belts, right?
Okay.
But
Circle gets the square.
There's
That's
a difference
a good one
there, though, right? But he had a presence on AEW all the time. He had, he was there. He was present. He was engaging storylines. The storylines were carrying over. So I actually watched TNA a few times when they were on there. Like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, I turned into GCW, and I don't see Money doing that. Yes, she's doing stuff, and I watched Wrestle Kingdom, but it's not the same feeling. And I just need to see more of her on TV. I think she's great. I love her. I think the more you see her, the better. And I'm hoping that now that she's done filming the Mandalorian movie and all this other stuff, like, maybe we'll start seeing her more and they can build a storyline. But give us a storyline going into All In Dallas, right? Like, set us up something that we can go and enjoy and get invested in. The fact that she's got these 4 titles instead of these one-off matches with whoever it is of the week. That's my problem with Moné. And I love her as a wrestler, but we need something more from her.
Yeah, I mean, you're stuck now because you have her with, Japanese titles, and are you going to put the TNA Women's Championship on her on top of that?
Well, no, TNA is with WWE now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, well, there's that, and it's you got to figure out how you're going to get them to All In with enough juice, for her. She's gonna have to be part of a couple of the strong shows in California, or whatever, and then she's gonna have to cut some major social media and major promos to get the juice.
I don't want to just hear pop up on a graphic for All In. Let's build some story, and that's one of the things.
That's a good point too.
In general, AEW needs to work on with their women's division. Overall, I thought it was a Dynamite, like an average. I would say it wasn't terrible. I didn't hate it. It wasn't the best all-time Dynamites, but I gave it just an average 3-beard rating. Enjoyed it. It was 3 beards. I'm probably being nice.
Yeah.
Because Raw was so terrible, it just made me feel better watching this.
Yeah, I think the beard rating, I also gave it 3 beards, but I think it was, the company that we were in, we were able to, kind of commiserate and watch it together and, bump and feed off of each other. So, congratulations to Mercedes walking out of there, holding all of her championships, and AEW moving a couple of the storylines together. And, I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do, moving forward to, to bring the fans and, bring it in. So hell yeah, let's go.
All right. Well, we appreciate everybody listening. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe. On Saturday, we are going to be doing a Royal Rumble watch-along live. Ellie Jair, El Editor will be on screen joining us. Maybe some special guests. We're trying to work some stuff out in the back behind the scenes. I don't want to say that for sure because we can't guarantee, but we're trying. So check us out for that on the Saturday show. If you need to get in touch with us, want to drop us a line, have an idea or comments, NoShaveManCave@gmail.com. Follow us on your social media, X, NoShaveManCave, Instagram, NSMC_podcast to get in touch with us on Instagram, Facebook, No Shave Man Cave. That's all I got. Like, share, subscribe. LEJR, take us home. Pump and feed, brother.
Hell yeah. Until next time, thanks for checking us out here at the No Shave Man Cave. Until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you on the floor.